All right, let's talk about what is, without a doubt, the most significant technological shift facing enterprise leaders today. We're going to break down this whole new era of AI through a simple framework we're calling the 3 A's: agency, augmentation, and advantage.
Okay, let's just dive right into this, because this is the core idea. For the last couple of years, all we've heard about is generative AI, systems that could write or code or create an image for you. Well, that era is over. We are now in the agentic era, and that's defined by AI that doesn't just respond to you, it acts. And this right here, this is the crucial pivot. We're moving from systems that are just responsive, you give it a prompt, you get a result, to systems that are autonomous. Just think about that for a second. These new systems can plan, they can make decisions, and they can execute really complex workflows, all with very little human input. That is a complete game changer.
But, and this is a big but, this new capability creates a fundamental paradox for every single leader out there.
So on the one hand, you have this massive, unprecedented opportunity for efficiency, for innovation. But on the other hand, you've got this completely new landscape of amplified risks. Risks that can threaten your reputation, your security, and really the very integrity of your operations.
And if you want to get a sense of just how big that opportunity is, look at this number. We're not talking about some niche technology here. This is the projected size of the agentic AI market by 2032, over $93 billion. The momentum is just undeniable, which makes figuring out how to navigate the risk side of this absolutely critical.
So let's dig into that first A, agency. This new power for AI to act is the engine that's driving both that incredible potential we just talked about and the unique peril that comes with it.
So this is really the heart of the matter, right? It's AI that can actually do things for you. But, beyond the definition, the real question is, where is all this power actually being used right now?
And this is where things get really interesting. You might expect customer support to be leading the pack, but the real explosion in the conversation is happening in HR and IT. We're talking about over 500% growth in HR alone. So what does that tell you? It tells you that these are the new, high-priority frontiers for agentic AI. However, and this is a really big however, there is a huge gap between all the visionary hype surrounding these tools and what they can actually reliably do today.
This number, from a recent Carnegie Mellon study, is just staggering. They tested current AI agents on common multi-step office tasks, and their success rate was as low as 30 to 35%. Think about it. Imagine launching a new enterprise tool that fails 2/3 of the time. This performance gap is a massive, massive source of reputational risk.
And of course, this gap between hype and reality has led to a really dangerous practice called AI washing. This is where companies overstate or just flat out misrepresent their AI capabilities. And this isn't some hypothetical threat. Regulators like the SEC are actively going after this. The consequences, from fines to lawsuits, are very, very real.
So all these performance gaps, all this risk, it naturally brings us to our second A, augmentation. How does this imperfect, yet incredibly powerful technology actually affect the human workforce?
Okay, let's just get to the question that's on everybody's mind. Is this technology here to replace people? Are the robots coming for our jobs?
Well, if you actually look at the data, the story is way more nuanced than that. It's really about redefining our roles, not simply replacing them. The tech is augmenting what we can do by automating all those routine cognitive tasks, which elevates human work toward things like strategy, creativity, and complex problem solving.
But let's be honest, that nuance is getting completely lost in the headlines. Public fear is real, and it's accelerating fast. So fast, in fact, that media chatter about AI-driven job losses nearly tripled in just the first half of 2025. And as a leader, you can't just ignore that. That's not just noise, it's a powerful headwind of resistance you have to manage.
But here's the flip side of that coin, the creation of entirely new roles, what some are calling a new-collar workforce. Just look at this. The demand for AI integration specialists, it has shot up by over 170%. These are the jobs that merge technology and strategy and ethics, and they are popping up fast.
Okay, so this creates a huge problem, right? If your workforce isn't equipped to understand, to oversee, and to collaborate with these AI agents, that's not just an HR issue anymore. It's a massive governance failure. It's a systemic operational risk that can lead to misuse, data breaches, you name it. So, you've got this massive opportunity on one side and this huge systemic risk on the other. How do you possibly navigate that? Well, the answer is in our final A, advantage.
It's all about building the right path forward.
And listen, if you take away one thing from this, let it be this. Winning in this new era isn't about being the fastest to adopt AI. The real prize, the true market leadership, is going to go to the company that masters it. And mastery comes from two things: rigorous governance and a credible, trust-based narrative.
So what does that governance actually look like? Well, it's a disciplined, phased approach. You don't just, flip a switch and turn on autonomy. You start at the beginning, in a foundation phase, with agents in controlled, sandboxed environments. Then you move to integration, where you bring vetted agents into specific workflows with human checkpoints. And only then do you get to transformation, scaling these systems within clear, established ethical boundaries. It's a roadmap that balances autonomy with control.
So what does this all boil down to for you as a leader right now?
It means this transformation is way too big to just leave to your tech teams. It requires a new coalition. Your communications leaders, they have to become the architects of your trust narrative, making sure everything you say about AI is transparent and true. And your risk leaders, they have to be the architects of the control framework, building the governance to manage these new autonomous systems.
Because at the end of the day, the strategic challenge here isn't just about implementing a new piece of software. It's about fundamentally redesigning your organization to seamlessly integrate two different kinds of intelligence, human and machine.
The technologies that offer the greatest transformation are always the ones that carry the most significant risks. Mastering this paradox of trust and control, that's not just another item on the agenda. It is the defining leadership challenge of our time. So the question isn't if this is the future, it's how will you build it?